Hello guys, welcome back to our online classes. Let's start. So I have this question for you. Yes, I want you to stop the video. Maybe you can check it out on internet, and I want you to tell me what is a milestone. Yes. So I want you to stop it, and then we're going to check what is the meaning. Did you find it? Well, we have that a milestone is a significant event or stage in life, progress, development, or the like of a person or nation. In other words, and to make it simple, a milestone is an important moment in your life that makes you grow as a person. Okay? Yeah? Well, it can be also, like it says here, it can be a milestone for a nation too, or to a country, or even for humanity, right? But we're going to talk about it more about people. Okay, so I want you to think, and I want you to make a list of 6 milestones that you have experienced in your life. And I'm gonna give you an example of a milestone that I experienced. A milestone that I experienced is when I started working. And it was a milestone because I started working, I got my first paycheck, and I remember that with that paycheck, I invited my father to have lunch, I think, and it made me feel really happy. So it was a milestone for me in my life. Yes. What about you? I want you to think of 6 milestones that you have experienced in your life, and then we're gonna share them during class. Okay. Good. Okay. Let's continue. So I want you to listen to this audio. Yes. And I want you to pay attention and to answer this question. Where did each person go? Ready? Let's listen.
1. We went on a school trip last week. We went to a theater and saw an exciting play. The actors were great. Olivia.
2.
We just had a 3-day weekend. I went away with my family. It was a fun trip, but our hotel wasn't very nice. In fact, it was terrible. Ichiro.
3.
I was at my brother's apartment last weekend. He doesn't have a TV or a computer. It was quiet and kind of boring. Brian.
4. My friend and I went on a day trip last week. We took a local bus to an old town. The bus was awful and noisy, but the trip was interesting. Look what I bought. Eleanor.
Okay, did you listen? If you didn't listen, remember that you can stop the video and you can listen again to it. So Olivia went on a school trip. Ichiro went on a 3-day weekend trip. Brian went on went to stay on his brother's apartment on the weekend, and Eleanor went on a day trip. Okay, so I'm gonna play the audio again, and I want you to complete the missing parts. Ready? Okay, let's listen.
1.
We went on a school trip last week. We went to a theater and saw an exciting play. The actors were great. Olivia.
2.
We just had a 3-day weekend. I went away with my family. It was a fun trip, but our hotel wasn't very nice. In fact, it was terrible. Ichiro.
3.
I was at my brother's apartment last weekend. He doesn't have a TV or a computer. It was quiet and kind of boring. Brian.
4.
My friend and I went on a day trip last week. We took a local bus to an old town. The bus was awful and noisy, but the trip was interesting. Look what I bought. Eleanor.
Okay, If you couldn't hear the words, you can stop the video and return and listen to it again. So we have that we went on a school trip last week. We went to a theater and saw an exciting play. The actors were great. Then we had a 3 day weekend. I went away with my family. It was a fun trip. Number 3, we have I was at my brother's apartment last weekend. He doesn't have a TV or a computer. It was quiet and kind of boring. And then we have the last one. My friend and I went on a day trip last week. We took a local bus to an old town, and the bus was awful and noisy. Is this okay? Let's continue. So, did everyone enjoy the trip? We're gonna check this out during the class, okay? So, I want you to look at these sentences, and I want you to stop the video and find positive sentences, negative sentences, and questions. So, stop the video, analyze it, and then we're gonna check it. Did you find it? Well, we have that this one is positive, this is a question, this is also a question, this is positive, this is a question, and this is a negative. And looking at these sentences, I want you now to find this. Where is the verb to be? Is it different? When are these things happening? Stop the video again and find these things. Did you find them? Well, we have, yes, the verb to be is different. We're using was and were, right? And when are these things happening? In past. So today we're going to talk about the verb to be in past, okay? So when we talk about the simple past of was or were, or the verb to be, we're going to use it to talk about any state to describe a person or a situation in the past. For example, he was happy, it was very difficult, and they were there. So when I say he was happy, I'm talking about a person. I'm describing a person, right? When I say it was very difficult, I am talking about a situation. And when I say they were there, I'm describing a position. So we can use all of these when we're talking about the verb to be in past. We use was with I, he, she, it, and we use were with you, we, they. Okay? There is no in past. Sorry. Now, the two of these have contractions. We have here an example. He wasn't and they weren't. Yes? So yes, we can use was not or wasn't, or were not or weren't. We can also make yes or no questions using was and were, and we're going to follow the same structure that we usually use with questions. We exchange the order of the subject and the verb to be. Were you happy? And because we're using the verb to be, the answer can be yes I was or no I wasn't. So guys, I want you to work on this activity. I want you to complete the guest comment with with was, were, wasn't, or weren't. Okay? And then we're going to check the answers during class. Guys, thank you for watching today's video. I'll see you in class. Bye.